Okay, hey guys, it's MeggStan here, and I know it's quite strange you're hearing my voice, but you can't see me. Anyway, so today I decided to draw an Eevee, technically paint and draw, an Eevee using coffee. Coffee itself is a very dark brown pigment, but when added to water it can be diluted to create different shades and tints. And so I did just that to create a attempted masterpiece of Eevee. The Eevee itself is a gift to my one friend. You can find her at MeggStan on YouTube. On this site, just Google it. I will try and put a link in the description box below if I can actually figure that out. Okay, anyways. So guys, to get started off on this little adventure of mine, I decided to draw the Eevee first and then tried to mix my coffees so that I knew if I got the Eevee right I would stick with doing the Eevee because I have commitment problems when it comes to that. And I think it turned out pretty well, so welcome to my little adventure. When I started drawing, I used an HB pencil. The whole thing is done with HB, actually. I should just say I started with an HB pencil. I did an HB pencil mainly because it's the only one that, well, the only one I had on me that showed up on camera. My 2H wasn't as prominent. And I decided to start with the face and then do her ruffle. So I had a guideline from where to start. The Eevee picture I used, you guys will probably recognize. It's quite popular. I did not want to go and have to think out an entire Eevee drawing design. I can, if you guys want me to do that in another video, but not today. Anyways, so I continued with the little feeties and worked my way up. This was a little bit tricky due to the fact that I had not spaced my page according to the tail. So doing the tail was a bit tough for me, but I did get through it. The tail did end up okay in the end. Just a lot of hard work. Throughout this thing I did make quite a few mistakes and some really funny ones. Using my Eevee model to help me get reference for those damn eyes. And I do realize those eyes looked pretty evil. Oh well, I fixed them. Eventually. At least. It could have been worse. I wanted to go for a more cuter looking look, unlike my little Eevee figure. I keep changing what I'm calling it. Figure who is using tackle, so she looks a little bit angry. I wanted her to look happy. And so I continued. I outlined them again, darker this time, so that you could actually see what I was doing. And also so that I could have a very clear visual guideline when painting later. I did realize I made quite a few mistakes going over the first time, so I tried to erase that. And done. This is the finished Eevee sketch. I did stop to add in all the shade lines so I could see when I was painting my little Eevee. Excuse my camera quality, it's terrible. Terrible. Now it is coffee time. Yay. Okay, just had to meet a nice workplace for my future self who is currently cringing. And I used coffee granules, not beans or espresso or anything like that, because I am not rich. And I used the measurement of 2.5 in this teaspoon that you cannot see, although, yeah, I just need a better camera. Okay. And as well as a 2 milliliter syringe to mix my coffee. That one had half of the half, and the other 3 had the half, which is the 2.5 milliliters. I also decided to mix them in different quantities to create different pigment color. And I didn't forget water. I did use this container because I felt like you guys would cringe at my recycled water bottle that I have been using for the past year for my water. Sorry, water bottle. Anyways, I got started with mixing the pigment in a ratio of 1/2 to 1. This will probably be the boring part, so I'm probably going to skip ahead. While I'm mixing, the second cup is a 1-to-1 ratio, the third one a 1-to-2, and the last one a 1-to-1/2. But boy, is filling syringes satisfying. If you heard a clank in the background of this voiceover, my phone fell on the floor. Damn Meowth. Just playing the Pokemon people, it wasn't me. Anyways, so this will probably turn to a speed clip of me filling these and then mixing them. I will come back to you when I start swatching. So I started using the first 1/2-to-1 ratio. I must say it's a lot like watercolor, and the pigment of these doesn't necessarily change, but it does apply pretty smoothly. Kind of like those really nice watercolor paints. Water paints, you know what I'm saying. But I ended up mixing here during my swatch test, so I guess what I said before doesn't really count, does it now? Oops. Anyways, I did enjoy doing this. I must say, when you first put that water into that coffee, all you smell is coffee in that room. Oh, it smells so good. Coffee in the morning. I'm still mixing that one container. Can you believe past me took that long? I will say the darkest one is probably this one and the next one. Although the pigment didn't change much, it is clearly a huge difference from the first one. I realized by adding water when picking up the paints does dilute it a bit more, but I ended up not really caring at the end when painting my Eevee. So I honestly feel that mixing this was kind of pointless. But you know, I had to do it, so I knew what I was doing and if it would work. The granules did take quite a while to disintegrate or to mix into the water. Therefore, my stirring time takes forever, and you get to hear my voice a little bit longer. Here you can see what I mean by the color difference getting darker the higher coffee content there is, which is very understandable. Although the last one is actually really light, like the first one. I just swapped them around, which you'd think would actually make it darker, but due to the fact that it didn't mix, it clumped together, and the pieces that did paint off were very light. Sorry, Eevee, I hit you there. I must apologize. I did try blending all the colors out with a little bit of water to see if they would go lighter and how much lighter they would go. This did end up helping me a bit, and also doing these swatch tests created the perfect water substance, which I used to paint around my Eevee before starting and after. I did like the second color, which I thought I would use for the Eevee's body. I did end up using one of the two darker ones. Can't remember right now. I may or may not have done this quite a few hours ago. And I got lazy to edit. Well, I'm human. I did get another holder, which I fell off my chair to get, actually. I just wanted to see what it would be like if I took a drop and tried to mix it with a single granule, or try to grab a single granule. And it ended up being pretty not as what I hoped. It was the same color pretty much as the first and second combined, and if I went over it a second time, it definitely turned to the second's color, which was pretty pointless in my books. These are all my swatches, and as you can see, it's definitely the same, or at least the diluted version is. Here you can also see that the water creates a color. Actually, I realize now, you guys can't. You can kind of see it now. But because my camera quality is so bad, like I've said before, it doesn't show up far away. Actually, you can kind of see it if you squint. Past me, you should have made a bigger area. So this is me filling out, like I said, the little areas around, because I wanted to create a little like running foresty background, but I ended up just doing a plane, like, you know, like a grass plane. I'm not talking like an airplane or anything. I tried to stay close reference to the colors and ended up doing the lighter one first to see how dark it would be, but I realized it would need to be more pigmented, as her ruffles, as I like to call them, are a little bit more less color or saturated, as my art teacher would make me say, when doing this part. So as you know, that one didn't mix very well. So the clumps at the back, if I put a drop of water on, actually came out pretty dark, creating shadows for me, allowing me to use that color in various spaces. It does contain a lot of messing in this video, so if that freaks you out, rather don't watch, because it ended up being pretty messy. Yeah, coffee and water are meant to be drunk and not painted. Although I will say coffee is a really good art medium. Very nice brown. I might use this in a project now that I think of it. Sigh. I figured that the darkest pigment would most likely be best for the darkest areas, but to my knowledge, later learned actually, it was very difficult to paint the darker colors because of the grains of coffee sticking to the paintbrush. So I couldn't get very straight lines using the paintbrush. I did try, but you know, some things don't always work out the way you want it to. The water, because I had painted this all in one go, it didn't dry, and therefore it did smudge into other colors a bit. I did try to fix it up quite a lot, but I ended up giving up and getting a towel, or paper towel, to fix it. Here I just used the water to create the light shadow on the shirt, or the shirt, damn, I am going crazy, the ruffles. So I could shadow that, because, you know, Pokemon, shadows. And I attempted to yet again, even though I tested it before, use the granules by itself to create darker colors. As you can see, there was some spillage in the top corner. I don't really know when that happened. I could probably go look back at the times now, but yeah, probably should have noticed sooner so I could clean it up. Painting the eyes on the Eevee does really give it a definite Eevee look, made it look cute and adorable, but I did feel that, well, later on, I don't know if you've noticed that it's very similar to the dark color in the ears, and I felt that it was just too dark for the body, so I did try to lighten it up a bit, but it also did dry down a bit lighter, which I did like. The ears still gave me trouble with their darkness and depth of color due to my very restricted range of this is the darkest color I have, I can just dilute it down. And I probably should have started there so I knew what to dilute down so I could get more color variety, instead of trying to make it darker, which was kind of impossible. Well, at least it looks kind of good. Here's me adding the shadows to the Eevee's feet, as well as to her tail. I didn't try to dabble too much more with the face because I personally thought it was pretty good. It was at this point where I took a photo to send to MeggStan, M-E-G-G-S-T-A-N. Actually, there's a space between those two words. If you want to go YouTube her now, because I still don't know how to do the link thing, I have to go Google it or YouTube it myself. I tried to hide those little smudges later on, but decided nope, not working. So I tried to blend them out, and it surprisingly did a pretty good job, better than what I thought it would, because, you know, it was a pretty big mess. And at this point I realized I hadn't done the mouth or the eye color, and it kind of bothered me because I stared at it for a while and I was like, oh wait, something's missing. Still haven't realized it. Past me, you really take a while to do stuff. I added the planes. I didn't want to do too much with the background because I only have one color and it would be too difficult, so I did try to darken the horizon areas using the water pigment so that it would show more. I also noted that with the coloring of the mouth, I tried to do the roof of the mouth a bit darker, but it ended up looking a bit weird, so I tried to go a bit lighter. And then redid it and then tried to do the eyes darker so it would balance it out because, you know, there's no going back. Even though I'm using watercolor paper with this drawing, the paper itself didn't hold too well to the amount of water I had used, probably because I used so much with the coffee. Anyways guys, this will be the end of my Eevee painting. And here is a final view of the drawing in 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I hope that I can do another video like this. I plan to do a humanoid sized Umbreon on a chalkboard. I do have a giant chalkboard, don't question me. I love my childhood. Anyways, if you have any other ideas or anything you want me to do, please leave them in the comment section below. I would seriously or really appreciate it, as I was going to say if you heard my little stutter. But not really a stutter, more like a questioning what the hell I'm doing with my life right now. But you know, it's there. I did it. I painted with coffee. Please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like this. I try to post videos every so often, but looks like I've been doing it once a month. I will try to lift that rate up. I do AMVs otherwise, other than these art videos that I plan to do more of. Tell me which one you prefer, and if you really want to, I could attempt to draw an anime character with coffee. Okay, let's maybe not do that. This was very difficult. Let's do Smarties. We can make Smartie paint.